From high atop Healthcare Hill in Central Maryland, this is BSN Headline News. Today's top story is a culture of security. Earlier this year, we told you about Bon Secours' culture of security and that 2015 would bring some necessary changes in how we protect and secure information at Bon Secours. Today's news covers two-factor authentication. Now, this is just a heads up. We don't have all the details yet. Nevertheless, in order to help secure remote access to BSHSI information system resources, we will soon implement two-factor authentication. What is two-factor authentication? Well, first, if you access BSHSI IS resources while at home or outside a Bon Secours facility, you will be affected. Two-factor authentication is an extra layer of security that requires not only a username and password, but also a dynamic or changing 6-digit code to access IS resources. In other words, every time you access IS resources while on VPN or off the Bon Secours network, you will need a 6-digit code as a second factor of authentication or two-factor authentication. Why is two-factor authentication necessary? Well, this should be apparent, what with all the cyber attacks on patient records and hackers, spammers, and phishers trying and succeeding at getting to personal information. Bon Secours is doing everything we can to prevent those attacks from getting through. Two-factor authentication is part of that effort. So, if you access any BSHSI IS resources while on VPN or while off the Bon Secours network, you will have one additional step to get to that information, and hackers, spammers, and phishers will have a much harder time breaching BSHSI security. Now again, this has not been implemented yet, but it is coming, and as we know more specifics about two-factor authentication here at BSN Headline News, we will share that information with you. In the meantime, watch for updates on IRIS and your local news resources. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can email cultureofsecurity, all one word, at bshi.org. Bon Secours takes information security seriously, and you should too. Supporting a culture of security means our information and the information of our patients is safe and more secure. And that is just one more way we are good help to those in need. In other news, April is Diversity and Inclusion Month here at Bon Secours, and each week we bring you a new message about diversity and inclusion. Today, we have another installment in our I'm Just Saying series. Listen to this. So I'm just saying, diversity is not just about culture or religion or race or age or disability. Well, it is all of those, but it's not just them. What about diversity of thought? Have you ever been at a meeting where you just totally disagree with what someone was saying, or maybe you agreed with most of what they were saying, up to a point, but thought it might need some tweaking? Or maybe you disagreed but thought that they might have some salvageable ideas. Well, all of those are diversity of thought. Bon Secours says we treasure diverse opinions and ideas. Gallup says inclusiveness is the way we engage our diversity. So it would make sense then that through inclusiveness we can demonstrate our diversity. But why? Well, experts say that when diversity is acknowledged and honored, managers find new ways to maximize and capitalize on the different skills and sensibilities of employees. Employees feel like someone understands them, and when employees feel like someone understands and accepts their different thoughts and ideas, they feel valued and respected. When employees feel valued and respected, they are much more likely to engage and put forth their best efforts. Well, it's no wonder Bon Secours treasures diverse opinions and ideas. I'm just saying. Look for diversity and inclusion events and happenings in your local area during the month of April. This year's theme is Many Hands, One Ministry, and that fits with the idea that we are one, Bon Secours. Finally, food feuds. Say that 3 times fast. What's a food feud? Well, besides being hard to say, a food feud is where 2 rivals have some friendly competition to see who can collect and donate the most food in a specific time frame. And that's exactly what has happened at Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital in Ashland, Kentucky. The 2 somewhat rivals, Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital and King's Daughters Medical Center, joined forces to compete to see who could generate the most donated food items for River Cities Harvest, a food rescue agency in the Ashland area. Before the event got underway, Lou Ansari, Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital Director of Community Services, said, "We are looking forward to working with our friends at KDMC to help fill the shelves at River Cities Harvest. Both hospitals have generous employees that will be excited to help." Indeed, they do. Listen to this. The 2 hospitals participated in a 3-week-long food feud where employees joined together to help collect over 7 tons of food. Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital collected roughly 2.5 tons. That works out to about 3.6 pounds per employee, while King's Daughters Medical Center, our friendly rivals, collected roughly 4.5 tons of food. That's about 4.7 pounds per employee, so they won the competition. But the real winners were the needy families in the community that depend on donated food to keep their families fed. Food feuds. Who knew? Well, that's it for this week. Stay tuned to this portal for future up-to-the-minute information on these and other stories on BSN Headline News. I'm Dave Schlachter. Thanks for joining us. BSN Headline News is a production of Bon Secours Productions and is solely responsible for its content.